Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on the BMW E65 series. Now then, we have another problem, and I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is, but today we are going to do some investigating to try and find out exactly what the problem is and hopefully confirm what I believed was the case. So, for the past couple of months now, I've kind of been getting a clunking noise from the front end this time, and it's in particular on the driver's side, so the offside front wheel area. And the clunking was only really occurring when I was dropping off a curb or if I was pulling away from my driveway. So any time that the wheel was, taking a significant drop, that I would notice the clunk. But then, over the past couple of weeks or so, it's been getting progressively worse, and it actually got to the point where when I step on the brake pedal, the clunk is pretty loud. It's as if the rest of the car is stopping, but this wheel is like sort of carrying on, and I'm feeling that through the brake pedal. So I'm pretty certain that I know what the issue is. I think right now at this point it is going to be a worn bush on either one of the two control arms, but obviously we're going to go and find out today. I think it's more than likely going to be the thrust arm, but I'm not going to ramble on too much. I'll get outside and I'll try and emulate the noise if I can, obviously just with the car in my driveway, and I'll try and move the wheel around just so you can kind of see how much play there is. So let's get outside and let's do that now. Okay, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and give the wheel a good kick just to see if you can try and see the amount of movement that it has in it and to see if it's normal or not. So I mean, to me, that really does not look like the normal amount of play. And now I'm actually going to start the car up and just go forwards and backwards and try and see if you can notice the movement when I'm stepping on the brake pedal. Okay, so I think that was a bit inconclusive. It's kind of hard to tell, especially when you're at such a low speed. It's more pronounced when you are braking from a higher speed. You can't really tell when you're going 3 miles an hour. But regardless, we're going to get this thing up in the air and take a look at the suspension components and see if we can see anything obvious. Okay then, so we have the front axle in the air now. Both sides are supported by the axle stands. They're not on the suspension components as well, so it's going to allow me to move everything freely. And moving the wheel, there seems to be a little bit of back and forth play, but I think that's just in the steering column, because the actual strut itself is moving, so I don't think this movement is a result of worn bushings. Obviously I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the noise that we're getting. I think it's the wheel shifting side to side, not back and forth. And obviously I can't really push on it to determine the noise back and forth. Wheel spins freely, that would indicate wheel bearing's okay. Let's I think we need to inspect the actual suspension arms and see what condition the bushes are in. And just to confirm that the back and forth play is normal, or it's not at least our issue today. It's exactly the same on the other side as well. So let's actually inspect the suspension arm bushes now. And to do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and take the wheels off. Okay, so we have the wheel off now, and I just thought I'd actually check the brakes as well, just to make sure everything is nice and tight. And the disc is on, obviously we still have the locating screw in place. And then I thought I'd wiggle the caliper as well. I mean, this seems a little bit loose. I'm not sure if that's the bracket bolts or if that's the actual caliper bolts. But let's give them a tighten up first before we go and investigate anything else. Okay, so the caliper bolts, the slide bolts, they're done up tight. Now I just need to make sure that the bracket bolts are done up tight, but yeah, I think it's the bracket bolts because we're still getting the movement. Yeah, these were not done up tight at all. So that's the top one. Wow, I can't believe how loose that is. Yeah, that's definitely solved that issue. Now we need to inspect the arms, which there really doesn't seem to be any play on them at all. I mean, if them bushes were really worn, they would be shaking like mad, but there doesn't seem to be any movement. Let me show you inside. So originally I expected it to be this bush that is worn, and I mean, it's hard to tell because you can't really get in there without removing the arm, but it doesn't feel like it's badly worn. And like I said, there's not any movement in it. And there's obviously this one here, there's not any movement in that either. Now I know the track rods and the track rod ends, they are brand new, so it's not them, and the drop links as well, they are brand new, so it's definitely not them. So I mean, I would have thought it's got to be one of these two arms, but it could actually be a case of it just being this caliper being loose, which would be very silly if it was, but that's done up. I think what we need to do is put the wheel on and still see if we're having the same issue. Okay, I've actually noticed something else as well. The anti-roll bar bush, that looks a little bit worn, and you have a little bit of play in it, but it's nothing crazy. And to be honest, I don't think you'd get necessarily a clunk with that, especially with, you know, minimal wear. So I really don't think that's our issue, but we could do with replacing them soon because, you know, they've obviously seen better days. But like I said, we're gonna put the wheel on and see if we are still getting the same issue. Right, that's the wheel back on, and for good measure, everything that we've done to that side, we've actually done to this side as well. So just tightened up the caliper and the caliper bolt brackets, and I've inspected the suspension components on this side, and like I said, it's pretty much just the exact same as the other side. So let's get this thing on the ground, let's get the wheels torqued up, and then let's take it for a test drive. Okay, place your bets then. What do we reckon? Do we reckon that that has fixed our issue? I'm not really that convinced. I'll be very, very surprised if it has. Like I said, I really think it's suspension components related, but you know, I could just be completely wrong. But yeah, we're going to take it for a test drive now and see if there's any difference. Okay, so we just took it for a test drive, and seriously, did we just fix the issue? Was it literally just a case of tightening the caliper bracket bolts? Like, wow. I'm pretty sure I'm no longer getting that clunk now from the front end, from that side. That's amazing. I honestly, like, I actually have taken my car off the road for the past week or so, because I was like, you know, I don't really want to drive with this issue, because honestly it felt like the whole front end of my car was about to fall off when I was going down a bumpy road. Wow, that is crazy. It's not to be confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure that was our issue. My mind is blown. Okay, so if you ever have a clunk from your front end, before you go ahead and start replacing suspension components, always check your brakes. If you can feel it when you're pushing down on the brake pedal, go ahead and check your brakes first before you spend any amount of money. Make sure everything is nice and tight. I really just can't believe that. If that's fixed our issue, that's just amazed me. Right, I'm going to wrap this video up. I have to go to work pretty soon. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know it's not really what we expected, but yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I'll see you guys in that next video. Peace!